All righty. How's everybody this evening? We are live. We're live on YouTube and Facebook. I didn't get a chance to send out some invitations to people in Kissimmee, so I usually do that. Maybe I can still do that. Let's see. 7:30 on YouTube. All right, I'll just send that now. All right. All right. So hopefully everybody's doing well. See, we got Ron here. Ron, I know he had some. Hopefully you were all right with the lights. And then Mike and Margaret, they said that their sales were pretty good. They seem pretty happy up there. I'm going to talk about Kissimmee. I'm going to talk about kind of feedback mostly of Kissimmee right tonight, and then I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to talk a lot about Kissimmee, and then I'm going to talk about some personal stuff on here. I don't usually do that, just projects and stuff that I'm working on. I'm going to share some of my pickups, and yeah, you survived your first show. Awesome, great. Glad you had a great experience there, Felix Comics Corner. Thanks for having us. You guys shared a bunch, and that's awesome. And Marcy and Alan, they seem to have a good show. And Joel, hopefully you did all right. I didn't hear from you, but I'm going to talk a little bit about that and several things. I've got my notes here, not as long as my normal, but that's okay. So tonight's show is our after the show event. And so I'm going to talk mostly about Kissimmee, but I am going to get into other we do have a show not this weekend, but the following weekend here in Lakeland. And I'll talk about upcoming events, changes, and all of that stuff here too. Okay, so thanks for everybody for coming out. I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about Kissimmee here. All right. So this past Saturday, we were in what I call the big space. We were in the space there 20. If you were there, then you know that. But there's two rooms. Normally, we are in the small room. This they call a Kissimmee room. We're in. I don't know what they call that, the center, but it was on the left-hand side, and technically that space is, I think, around 24,000. And I cut off about 30 feet on the left-hand side. Okay. And did that drape. All of the drape we don't normally do. That was an extra. When I put it on the map that we're doing 10 by 10s, they took that as 10 by 10 draped things on the outside, and they took those and they added it. So we may or may not have some of that draping. Besides the lighting issue, and they didn't tell me anything about that. So we didn't get in the building before Friday. And I thought those would just come on, but obviously they do. A lot of times when we go into buildings, we don't know all the switches. Maybe they won't have all the lights on, but we assume that everything works. Okay, so nothing I could do about that. But okay, so the biggest issue I think that we had, besides the lights, okay, that were in a small section of the front, the biggest issue that we had was the concession stand. Now, some of you guys don't know about this concession stand. This is the only place that I rent where I have to put up money. I think I have to put up, because I don't remember it being detailed on the thing, but it used to be that I would put up, I would basically pay them to make sure that they had concessions. So I put up some kind of money, and then if they don't get the sales, then I don't get my money back. If they get a certain amount of sales, then I get that deposit back. Okay. And I'm basically paying them to be open for 4 hours. Okay. Now, I didn't have anybody tell me, hey, when do you want it open or whatever. They just did that. So it was they were open 9 to 1. I was told 30 minutes before they were closing that they were closing at 1. And so that's out of everything else that could have gone wrong, that was not that big of a deal. But I will make sure that next time we have it open from 10 to 2. Okay, 10 to 2 is going to be if I only have 4 hours to buy, then it's going to be 10 to 2. All right. And also, if there was a deposit, I should be getting this thing back, because they ran out of hamburgers. They ran out of everything by the time they closed. And I appreciate everybody buying the food, because that tells me, a lot of times I want to have concessions at certain things where I have to either, guarantee sales or something like that. And these are in spaces that aren't like Port St. Lucie or aren't like West Palm, where Abe comes and cooks. But basically, some places like a hotel or whatever, they want you to, okay, I'm going to come back to that, Felix. Okay. Anyway, so I'll come back to your thing about the money. Anyway, so basically we had to put up, in some places we have to guarantee sales to have concessions. It's rare, but it does happen. And then usually I tell them no, or I'll try it once. And like, for instance, the first time in Fort Myers, I tried that. Nobody bought the food. I lost money, so I'm not doing it again. Now what we do is we have the vendors order from the hotel. We have a guy that comes around. He takes orders from vendors, and they have pretty good food. I mean, the pricing is hotel price, but it is what it is. Okay, so when we have Abe, take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. All right, great. Well, they didn't have any pretzels left when I went to go and buy, Joel. So glad you got to enjoy that. And hey, how you doing? We haven't seen you in a while. We're looking forward to having you in Tampa. Maybe we can get you to come to another show. And then Courtney, we haven't seen Courtney in a long time either. Glad you could come out. Andy was there. His space was too big. That's what he said. And there were some other things that will, 10 and 2 would be good. Yes, on the food. Okay, let me go back to this. Say anything about fake hundreds. We got one. Didn't determine it was really fake. Okay. That is okay. What we do at the front, Lisa, and she makes a big deal about this, is having what are those pens?
Counterfeit pens.
Yeah, counterfeit pens. Okay, so have we gotten any? I think we've gotten bad money once.
We've gotten one fake 20.
One fake 20.
Some guy at Jacksonville tried to give me a fake 100, and I said no.
Yeah, somebody in Jacksonville tried to give us a fake 100, but they're out there. But we don't usually have any, we don't really have issues in general. But you're going to want to get one of those money checkers. It's like a black pen that, when you write on the money, it's going to show you that it's legit or not. The other thing with, there's other ways.
You can get them on Amazon, usually like $5 for $10.
Okay, so she's saying that you can get them on Amazon $5 for $10. In a normal YouTube video, we'd have a little link that we could add to the. Anyway.
We buy lots of them.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
Okay, we buy lots of them. Is what she's saying. All right, I don't handle that part. Let's see.
Not enough to buy stock in the company, but we buy lots.
No, you don't. Yeah, not enough to buy stock in the company. Greg, you should have gotten everybody that was at the show should have gotten a text today about being in the big space in the fall. Okay, we were up 10% overall over the small room. The feedback that I got was from customers Lisa can add into this, but the feedback that I got was that customers liked the bigger space. Some that we have some regulars that were there that said they liked having the stuff spread out more, that they can see what people are selling. And then obviously the having the walkway and everything. And then there was like an old vendor that came that thought that the spaces were going to be small, and they visited somebody else, and that vendor said that they told them if they knew the spaces were going to be what they were, that they would have signed up because they didn't think there was any space. So yeah, so that was so out of the people. I texted everyone today, and you got the last pretzel. All right, good. Good evening, everybody. Okay, cool. How are you, Tony? You missed out on a pretty decent show, I think. But you'll be at the show in Lakeland, and you're going to be doing your podcast here at 8:00. I know you only can stay for a few, but anyway, it was overall good. Andy said, "How's everybody doing? Thanks for coming out." And all right, had a good time with the Ghostbusters, meeting new people. Great, because you usually bring out the kit, so that was kind of neat seeing something else. Okay, have a pen. If that's, I'm sure you learned a lot more than just that though. But you had a very nice setup, looked good. Usually people that are new kind of pile their stuff on a table and everything. So those that was good. Okay, so here we had we have an issue. We don't have an issue. But what I mean by this is that, okay, on our schedule, let me go ahead and make myself small here. On our schedule, we have Kissimmee on October 3rd. I have the smaller room technically contracted. I have not called them about the bigger space. The problem is, the problem is that at this point, customers are going to expect us to be in that bigger space. That's something I didn't think about when I booked it. I was thinking, oh, okay, the customers are wanting us to do bigger space. I have an overflow of vendors. Maybe let's go ahead and do the bigger space. But now I think that customers liked it enough to where if we go back to the smaller space, they're gonna like, what's going on here? Why is this small again? But in this case, if you look at the schedule, we have a show in Altamont on the 4th, so it'd be Kissimmee on the 3rd and Altamont on the 4th, and so I might still check into the larger room, but Lisa and I kind of talked, and I think it's probably a good idea to stick with the smaller room just this last time, because we are going to be going to the bigger space. So whether we go in the fall and just move forward, we got to make these decisions months and months out. I mean, the lady I already have a contract for the smaller room. I just needed to send it in. And she was like, I should have already had it. I'm like, well, how about you let me get through Saturday first, and then I'll send. I mean, we've been working with them for 6 years, so you'd think that they would give us, a minute. But these venues are getting tough. Some of them anyway, some of the more popular ones. I'm going to come back to comments here in just a minute. But basically, if we go to the smaller room, it's going to be this one last time, and then we're going to be going to the bigger room. Okay, because I do feel that when I was there, I felt like it was something where we could grow the audience from there, that the audience would come, they're going to see that's a bigger show, it's a bigger space, and then they'll tell their friends, hey, there's more stuff here, there's more space, there's more vendors there, and even if I have to drape off more of the space because let's say I don't get enough vendors, I still think that the bigger room is a better option for us, going forward. Now, I think we'll probably end up with the smaller space on October. That's probably what I'm going to go with. But what that means is that the minute I put this up and I send it out to you guys, you're going to have to sign up, okay? if you want space, because there's only like I think there's 50 tables in there, and you know, and you might say, well, why were we in the small space in the first place? You've been running the, you were in the big space. Well, it's because and I know that to some people I'm obsessive about these other shows that go on in Orlando, and then new people popping up all over the place, you know, doing shows. It's because the saturation in the market, what happens is you know, it dwindles down the audience that are coming to the show. So if there's a show every week, then there is, you know what I mean? It just, I'm trying to grow the customer base that comes into the show. That being said, you might say, well, why are you doing a show in Kissimmee and then Altamont? Well, because my belief is that people don't drive. People don't want to drive now. They, unless it's like super special, super something, they're not going to drive more than like 20 miles, and it's like 30 miles away, okay, from Kissimmee to Altamont. I think it's two different customer groups. Yes, we're going to have our regulars that are going to come to both shows. I'm going to make it a deal to come to both shows, okay? So there'll be like a $20 ticket that gets you in both shows. And, you know, and that's going to be the weekend. I wanted to try that, but you know, if we go with the bigger room, you know, it's going to be it's going to be more work. Okay. All right. Hey, Sean, thanks for coming out and watching. And I'm not going to talk about guests tonight for that, but I am going to be talking about guests next week on the show. I am going to be posting guests online this week for the Tampa Toy Con, because they're starting to, we're going to have probably 6 or 7. Some of them are local. Some of them are you know, we're flying them in, but there's going to be a bunch of guests for Tampa in July for sure. Stay tuned on that. Yes, Lisa just said. Hey, thanks for coming out. It sounds like you had a great show. Let me know what you think. Oh, you haven't been to the small building, Larry, but thanks for coming down from Jacksonville to our show. That was a good room. Agree. Some customer told me the same. They were able to walk better, plus see vendors better. Okay. And Archie. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thanks for coming out. And venue was awesome. Great. And then I'd say it went well for a first event. Yeah, great. It was good. You guys did well there. Love the schoolhouse, right? Yeah, my wife got me this shirt. It's a little bit big though. So I'll wear it here, but and our Ocala spots are still full. Sorry. And missed out on vending. Hoping to be back vending. Okay, yeah, we're hoping to see you again soon here. And thanks for coming out, and Brandon also for watching. Okay, so again on Kissimmee, I just want to make sure the main problem was concessions times, which is nothing. Okay, everyone had plenty of room. Everyone had, you know, I did hear from a couple. We had a lot of comics. We usually have 1, 2, maybe. There's been a time in Kissimmee where we've had none, and we had at least 6 or 7 comic vendors. So the ones that told me they didn't really do well were the comic guys that were in the back. So I mean, I'm sure there was maybe there was somebody else, but for the most part, everyone seemed pretty happy. Let's see, texted vendors. Let me just go. Sure, issues with a bigger space. And okay, yeah, I think like I said, I'm thinking we're gonna stick with a small room. And then, you know, overall, you know, I'm at the point now where have a great night. If you guys get on with Shellhead there, after you're done here. Okay. But, so I think, you know, as a company, you know, Florida Toy Shows, where I'm at is I feel like we're kind of at a tipping point of having to go to bigger spaces. Now, what that means is like we're not going to be looking for spaces that are smaller, like, you know, 5,000 square feet or small, or anything less than like 8,000 or 12,000 is what our sweet spot is really. So we're kind of looking at bigger spaces. I'm going to be looking for a new space in Ocala after this year. I'm going to be looking for more space in West Palm. We like the Polish Club down there, but it'd be nice if we had a bigger space. I'd love to do the fairgrounds. I just haven't lined up. I haven't contacted them in a while. And then in Fort Lauderdale, I still want to figure out how we can do another Fort Lauderdale show, and all that. Okay, so let's see. We're going to talk about. So next week's show is the June 7th. At RP Funding. This is probably, I'm just going to guess that this is a one-time only date. I don't know that for sure, but what has happened, what's happened is that, originally we had July 26th. There was going to be an anime show across the hall from us. I didn't like that. So then I tried to go back to our normal August date. That wasn't available because they had some Pokemon card show, whatever. I mean, I've been there for 6 years and yet I was having trouble getting a date. So I just picked this date. Now, this isn't the best date because they are going to be missing a few people because of the wrestling show over on the other side of the state. But this is what we're going with. There will be a setup day. And I think I'm going to try to still have pizza and wings maybe at my house here. I don't know. Won't be as organized as our normal thing is, but for those vendors that are around and want to come by, I think I will have that. I think that is my plan. I'm going to go back. So next week's show will be all about this Central Florida Collector Fest. I'm not planning on having any guests because it is a one-day show. But it is going to be in the great space here over at RP Funding Center here by my house. So I still have a few tables left. They're all aisles right now. That's all I have left. So if you're looking for some space still, I still have some aisles for Lakeland next week. Okay, let me talk a little bit about a couple things that I picked up actually this weekend. I want to share that with you guys. Maybe you won't care, but I'm going to share it anyway. Let's see. No. So one thing is I've been going back and forth with Steve Fuino on this book, but he had traded it. So those of you may know, I've been wanting a Spider-Man 300. So I did get a Spider-Man 300. What I know, this is CBCS for you comic people. It's not the CGC, but what I like about this is that Todd's name is spelled out here. Okay. And it's legit, signature, but he doesn't really write them out like that. Rides in the vet, $20. Yeah, we're not there yet. People might want to do that, though. You never know. The other thing I got was I did get this from Steve Fuino, which I don't know where he got it, but I did get. Some of you know that I collect Tron stuff. I mean, I have the Flynn sign. I'm going to talk a little bit about my projects here in just a minute. So the Flynn sign is, so I did get this. This is a sealed copy of this Intellivision game. You can find the Intellivision game pretty easily, but a sealed copy is kind of hard. So that's kind of cool. Now the other thing that I got was, and this was something that I'm trying to decide if I'm going to say who brought this, but 2 booths for July Tampa. All right. Hit me up, please. Maybe send me a message and I'll send you a link to sign up, and then we can go from there. I can put you down. All right. I do want to share this though. This is something that I'm just going to say, go ahead and say Mark Moriarty brought this, and he was showing it to us, and I said I have to buy this. So this is, I showed this to Brutus actually, and he said that he hadn't seen it. So this is a box that was sent to Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. Okay. You see it says Razor on the side. And then inside here, there's a piece of paper from Jack's Pacific saying that this is a product that hasn't been launched yet, etc., etc. All right, and then inside here, I assume there was more figures in here, but there are figures in here. These are from 2008 or something. 2008. Okay, my least favorite year. I think everybody's least favorite year, other than COVID, I would say. But anyway, amazing stuff. And I have some JSA things here, but it's just the box, is very cool that it's addressed to Scott Hall. Here we got a packing slip here. Very cool stuff. And then I think I got one other thing. Someone printed this sign here for me. Okay, and then 2008 was rough for I think most of us. It started out good, not the rest. All right, now the other thing I want to share with you guys is, you see my Toy Story pinball here. You guys know that I'm into pinball. Last week, the Transformers came out a week ago, Wednesday, tomorrow. And I just, wasn't sure I was going to get one. I mean, I planned on getting a premium, or eventually, and I thought it would be cool if we had one to, hey, just relax. Anyway, so last week, you may have seen my post about it or not. I'm going to share this a little bit right now with you guys, and so you have the Transformers game. Let me just one thing I didn't do. I wanted to show some pictures. So we're gonna have this. We may open it at the show. So what I did is I ended up trading in my James Bond, just in case you guys think that, I'm not, it's the wrong size. Remove some studio. Sorry, I want to show you guys this. This is the picture here of one side. So it's got lights on it. This is the LE that I put in for. I could have gotten something else, like premium, and just waited, but the lights on this thing are so cool that I decided to go for it, I guess, and get this and put in for this. So I was able to make a trade. And it's not here yet. They took my machine, my Bond machine, to, so I've got a huge deposit on this machine. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some gameplay here on the video. Let me go ahead and add that. So let me go ahead and remove this. I'm going to add this. And this is some video. So the video up here where you see in the yellow, that's the screen. And then this is the game. This is the guy is playing the game. I just wanted to show, because the video is kind of cool. And then I'll show you the play field. We're going to have this to open either we're going to open it at the show, or we'll open it before the show, because I won't be able to hold off opening it. But it'll be at the Tampa show. I think I'm also going to bring, the Star Wars game, I believe. And then also the Flynn sign that I probably posted. You guys have seen that, but let me just go over a quick little,
starting a fresh game. This is a pro model. Sorry, it's a premium.
Okay, so at the beginning, they're gonna, before Wally shoots the ball, it's gonna do the opening of the cartoon. So this entire game is based on the cartoon. A couple things to point out. So he's at the media day, this guy. and he's in what they call a quiet room over here. So he's a media guy and a YouTuber or whatever that's going to promote, kind of share the game with people. The Optimus Prime doesn't transform. It did at one time, but they kind of gave up on making it reliable or something. I don't know. That's the story. And then but Megatron does shoot a ball out of his gun here, and then Soundwave shoots balls out. I'm going to do a few seconds of this, or just to share. But basically, once he shoots the ball, the game is this is gonna go away, and it's gonna play.
The Transformers, that's in disguise. The Transformers, more than meets the eye.
Let the cutscenes play as we look over the game, getting ready to play it. Okay.
Let us roll out.
Okay, so I have had a chance to play a little bit on the LE, which for the most part is the same game. Other than some of the fancy outside parts. And then if you're an LE buyer, this LE is gorgeous with the 2 colors of powder coat.
Retreat. Never give up.
One thing like John Wick did with its Spike cabinet, so you can see that the premium and the pro will accept the expression lighting on the inside of the cabinet, which is nice. So longer plunge that time.
So you'll see on here, you got a Teletran 1 up here if you're a Transformers fan. Teletran 1 up here. You got inside the game, you got a Dinobot area, and there's actually a third flipper here that does a bunch of different things. Let me go ahead and go over to a couple pictures, but we are going to have this at the let me share this tab. Okay, so here's a couple pictures. This is the LE, which has it lights up here on the side, and it's cut out like a laser cut. And then inside here you've got the Soundwave, Megatron, Optimus Prime, and then Grimlock over here. Plastics look a little not detailed, but it's because it's the cartoon. Okay, you can do the combiners. You can play the game to combine the things. Here's Soundwave shooting the ball out, and you got Megatron. A picture of Megatron here. And I just thought, once I watched the gameplay, that it was just gonna be, it was just like, okay, this is pretty cool. It goes with the toys that I have and everything like that. So so sharing that now. The other projects I'm working on a personal level is the Flynn sign it will be on display at Tampa Toy Con. Sean and I are going to be working on a few other displays for Tampa Toy Con. We're going to have several cars at Tampa Toy Con among also the guests. And then let's see. And then I'm trying to think. Oh, the Silver Surfer. If you guys might remember, let me go ahead and share that just because. Let me see. Share screen. Okay. You guys might remember that the Silver Surfer here behind me. I don't have this machine anymore. I've traded Zeppelin for John Wick, which I never got because I ended up trading that for Elton John, and then Elton John I traded for the fall of the Star Wars one that I have. So that's me sitting in this same spot. I think back in 23, and so 3 years ago. And I had the Silver Surfer. Now he fell over when I went to move him one time. When I think I got the James Bond, and he fell over on this table that's to the side of me here, and so he got some damage on his head and whatever. And so because I don't have a stand, so our friend Ray, if you guys saw the Deadpool statue at the show, he fixed that up quite a bit. And then, so we're going to have hopefully the Silver Surfer on display at the Tampa Toy Con, show. All right. And then, let's see. And then finally today, and again, this is just my own personal projects. If you guys were on my personal page, you saw that let's see, you saw that I have my Mustang is, so this is, I'm going to go ahead and show that. So this is the Hummer bringing it from basically Sean's place. The engine is up here, or the space at the front is up because of the someone's asking. I'll come back. But anyway, the front of the car is up because of the engine is out, actually. This trailer we rented, whatever. So that, it looks pretty good from 20 feet away. Okay. When we had it at Super RetroCon, it looked pretty good. The guy had delivered it, but when you look at it at the bottom, there's all this white stuff. Let me just see if I can zoom in on that. I guess I can't. That's weird. So, and then, anyway, so, it just wasn't right. All I wanted was the clear coat fixed, and the guy painted the entire car. It's just not right. And it just got to be a point where I couldn't drive it. It was embarrassing. Here it is on the trailer. You'll see the white stuff here around. Like I said, it looks good it looked good from 20 feet away, basically, or whatever. This is what the car looks like as of today. Everything is off of this thing. It's scary looking. Engine is out. So all of this is going to be repainted. And I'm not trying to bore you guys, but really what I'm sharing here is I didn't intend to originally paint the car. I didn't really, I didn't understand really what's involved. Okay. This is something where you get into something and then you got to finish it, have a thing. And so instead, so I'm going to do it right, I guess. And again, I understand this is my personal stuff that I'm sharing, not show stuff. The only rust on the car was I did fix rust underneath so this top is off, and there's a spot here and a spot on the other side where water leaked for a while, where there was a hole in the roof, but that I didn't know about. But everything else is all, and we're going to fix that. So everything on here is going to be new when eventually everyone sees the car, because I will have it out. I'm just blown away at the amount of work. And then we're going to have, it's going to be, I'm calling it icy ice red. So it's going to be red color with that goes with the red line kind of bike here. So anyway, that's hopefully going to be back together. Are you going to have some setup on Saturday? Yep, I'm going to have Saturday setup. And here, Steve Walters, pictures from 2021 of the 501st playing pinball. Yeah, that's cool. It's cool. So we're going to have Steven at RP Funding also. We're going to have him back at the... So, okay, so just to go back to the schedule here, again, I know that, I wasn't trying to bore you with my car stuff and my projects, but I'm going to probably have another video. I have another account, of course, but I think I'm going to start putting some videos up there that are not show specific. It's more like, hey, Jeff's collection type stuff. And maybe they'll be boring. I don't know. I just, anyway. So let's see. Total talked about the pins. Okay, figures, showed those off. All right, so again, we have some aisles left in at RP Funding. We are sold out in Ocala, Tallahassee. If you're interested in coming from Central Florida to Tallahassee, please let me know. I will give you a break on the table space. Right now, we have over 2,000 people interested in that show. So there's going to be people there, guys. We've never been there. Nobody's really doing a show like ours up there. And so, there is space. And then after that, we'll be at Tampa Toy Con, which I do have a bunch of space there because it's 50,000 square feet, guys. Okay. So, but there are lots of stuff I'm adding to the show there. And then I'm going to be posting tomorrow. Let me go and make myself small here. Let's see. Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to be posting, let's see, Bradenton, who they just sent me a contract. And then I'm probably going to be posting Kissimmee this week. So these two shows are going to be posted this week. Let's see, the Melbourne. Yeah. So these two shows are going to be, the Altamont show is not on my website right now. I had some issues with the website earlier today, but I've got that figured out. And so all of these shows will be on there. I might have a few tables left, a couple tables in the second room for Green Acres. I may post that also. All right, so let's go back through. Greetings from Aruba. Oh, wow. Oh, hopefully you can come to our show someday. Yeah. And we will be in Kissimmee and Orlando in October. Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. All right. Yeah. So what you can, if you search us on the internet, Patrick, Florida Toy Shows, there's a bunch of videos of people that have come to our show. So you can get an idea what it's like there. So, okay. All right. So I think that's all. Like I said, we may be in, I'm going to ask if the big room is available just because, but no guarantees, on that right now. I feel like we're going to have our back-to-back show. We're going to have our back-to-back show, with one day is Kissimmee and one day is Altamont. I could have done Coral Springs on Sunday, October 4th, but I want to try and see if this works. I mean, I think it's going to be kind of a neat thing. No one's really done two different areas in one weekend. We have done the double dip. I call it the double weekend. Double dip, double weekend is what I call it. Double weekend. It's kind of a double dip, I guess, but it's really just a 2-day show. It just so happens to be in two different buildings. So, Patrick, if you're here in October, then you'll maybe be able to go to both of those. All right, and then I think that's all. I think that's all I had to this way. So, vendors, if you were there this last Saturday and you think that we should be in the bigger building in October, let me know. If we shouldn't be in the bigger building for October, let me know. It can just text me yes, no, yes, bigger building, no. I want to be in the smaller space, or there's too many vendors or something. Whatever you want. Okay, back-to-back shows. When will? That's a good question. I usually have it. I usually have it in the morning before 9:30. But yeah, we probably will have TK in October. I don't keep track of his schedule, what he's doing. I know he's like in Texas and then Denver and somewhere else. I don't know. Bigger building with the lights working. Yes. Okay, cool. All right, guys. Thanks again for coming out. We will be back here live at 7:30 next Tuesday. And then we'll have a show at RP Funding here in Lakeland. If you're vendors and you want to, we'll probably have some kind of get together here at my house. We can play the games I have, which, are going to, I want to say they're going to change because I got to make room for these other cars here. But anyway, enjoy your evening and we'll talk soon. See you soon. Bye now.